everyone. Today on Hello Susan, we're going to do some layered hearts for our Valentines. It's so fun and easy, and I'm going to take you through it step by step. Okay, so I'm going to move these out of the way. This is what one of them looks like. Isn't that pretty? It says beautiful. It's got some little resin flowers with rhinestones and pearls. I used this key tag for the dangle and covered it with some lace and another one of those resin flowers. This is a ribbon rose, and then I've got an applique that I put on and a picture of a pretty girl plus a butterfly, and it's all on the base of a wooden heart, which, here, let me move this out of the way so I can show you. Here it is right here. It's just a wooden flat piece. I got that off of Temu. And I covered it with paper. And let me show you another one that I made. Doing the same format, doing the same, whoop, here we go, the dangle. I put a little bird on this one and some lace, and using some ribbon roses and the same little resin flowers. Here's a picture of a ballerina and an applique and some netting, and put a little bow right there. And then I put some lace to hang it with. And what we're going to do now is make the third one together. And I use scraps for this. You can use scraps, or you can use whatever you want to use. Oh, here, let me get one of these out while I'm looking at it. Get that out of the way for now. So I have, for scraps, let me kind of get organized for a second. Get all my little pieces in a row. I've got an idea of what I want to do. So the first thing I want to do is I'm going to use this scrap piece of cardstock. It's a 110 pound. I get that at Walmart. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put glue on my heart, and I'm using Fabri-Tac. Even though it's not for fabric, it glues paper, wood, anything, pretty much jewelry. Now, it's not going to be a bond for forever if you do jewelry, but it will hold on pieces like these little resin flowers just fine, and they won't fall off for any reason. Except for if you pry them off, I guess. So how are y'all spending Valentine's? I will be recovering from hip replacement surgery. I'm going to have my surgery next week, and I'm trying to get some videos made up so that I can have some ready for y'all while I'm recovering. Okay, so wish me luck that I come through my surgery great and everything's better than it was. Okay, so it doesn't really matter where you put it, just plop it down. If you do want to know, hold it up to the light, and you can see through the paper and see where the image is. But because it's an overall image, I'm not really that worried about it. So I'm just going to rub that like that. And then I'm going to get my scissors, and I'm going to cut around it. This is such a fun, easy project. I was looking for something that I could do that would look pretty, you know, hanging around my house, and also to give as gifts. And this is what I came up with. So I'm just using that edge as a guide. And I gotta go back this way, get the other side. Let's see if I can do it this way. There we go. Okay, so now you can see that the edges look very pretty. If there was any problem with it, you could use an emery board and you could file that, and that would make it very smooth. So the next thing I want to do is bring in my ink. I'm going to use some vintage photo. It's just ink, and I just want to ink that up the edges. Just to give it a little vintage look. That's what I like. Okay, and then I'm going to do the front. And the wood accepts the stain very well. Okay. So the next step is I have some of this left over from doing a journal. And I want to, it probably is not going to be seen so much, but I want to put a foundation. So what I want to do is I want to figure out where it's going to fit on here so that it shows a little bit of decoration. But like I said, I think I'm going to put all the applique and all that stuff on top of it. So I'm pretty sure it's going to get all covered up. But I like doing layers. Okay. So I just put it around the edges pretty much. And I'm just going to lay this on. Okay. And just press it down. Okay, and do the same thing. We're going to cut this out. This time I'm just going to turn it over so I can... Oh, let me get my fabric scissors. That's not working so good. There we go. Seem to it takes a lot of thought process. Okay, now let's get this corner better. Okay. Can save that. I think I can use that on another project that I don't know what I'm doing, but I think I can. Okay, so here we go. That's the next step. Then I've got some netting that I want to put another layer on with. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm just going to go around the edge. A little bit of glue. Okay. And then just lay that on there. Now this one, I actually don't care that it's the heart shape. I kind of like it to look raggedy. And see, like you can see on this one, you can see it poking out. So that's what I want to do. I had so much fun making these, and I just couldn't wait to show you. Okay. Just going to cut it anyway. It doesn't really matter. I want it to poke out all the way around. And save that too. I have more containers of scraps. I don't know, do you? Okay, so here we go. So now what I want to do is I want to, I've got this little saying that I want to put on there. It says, listen well, your heart is singing. So I'm going to go ahead and round the corners on that. And let's ink that up too, just to give it that little vintage feel. Okay, so I have these birds. Let me go ahead and ink them up too. Usually I ink everything up before I come on. Didn't seem like I did that. And let's ink this too while I'm at it. Now make that look a little vintage. One side of it's going to show. I plan on putting one of these ribbon roses on there. So there we go. Okay, so I need to figure out exactly where these birds are going to fit on here, because I want these birds to be the focal point with the words. And then I want to be able to have enough room to fit all this other goodies that I want to put on here. and not look like it's falling off. Okay, so since I like that positioning, before I move anything, I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the back of these. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on these birds so I can put this sign right here. Okay. I guess I'm going to have to take that off there anyway. I was trying to hold it all in place so I could get it done, but... Alright, so I'm just going to put glue on the back. And now since we've got that little bit of fabric on there, it just makes the Fabri-Tac grip just even more, but even if it didn't, I love this Fabri-Tac. It is so wonderful. It's a little bit expensive, but it does the job for me, and then I don't have to worry about my projects. Let's see. I want to get this on here where there's plenty of room. Okay. Now, I've got that in place, and before I add anything else, I want to go ahead and see, I put glue on the rest of that bird, and I can just stick that to that netting. Okay, now I want to get my crocodile, and I want to poke some holes in this wood. It's got a big hole and a little hole, and I like to use the little hole for this. Okay. So we're going to put a hole in the top so I can put seam binding or ribbon or whatever I want to do to make it a hanger. Goes through very good. See how it poked that little hole right there? Alright, let me see. I think I need to get something to get that little piece of wood out of there. I had to do this on the other ones too. It seems to want to just kind of stick in there. Okay, there it is. Got it out. Okay, now let's do the same thing on the bottom so we can put our dangle. And it's got a little hole so you can see where you're putting the hole. That was the same word over and over, huh? Okay, I'm not going to worry about taking that out right now. I'll do that after the video's over. Okay, so now we've got our two holes. So now we can go ahead and start decorating. So I want to use this applique. And this is a piece I had left over from doing a journal. Get my scissors. I think I want to use this flower right here. So let's go ahead and cut it out. And I'm going to cut those leaves off because I'm going to add them back in. This way I can put it exactly the way I want it, because I have to go with the heart shape. Okay. So let's see. I think the rose goes this way. So we'll go ahead and put this rose about right here. See, that's why I had to put that the holes in, so I know where the holes are so I don't cover them up. And now we're just going to glue it in place. Okay. That looks pretty right there. Let's go ahead and put some of these ribbon roses on. Well, I'm going to need those again. think I want to put 2 at the top here, like this. Yeah, that looks good. A little bit of overflow. That's the only thing I would have to say about Fabri-Tac that's annoying, is sometimes it overflows. I do find that if you let it get in the nozzle before you start pushing, that it gets less air inside, and I think what happens is air gets inside there if you start pushing the minute you turn it up without it getting down in there, and then that causes that. But you know, sometimes we're just impatient, so okay. I want to see so much of the heart there. I'm sorry if I didn't let you see what I was doing. I'm just trying to look at it to position it. Okay, that looks good. And let's see, we're going to put this other heart on this dangle. Oh, let me put the dangle in first, just to make sure I don't have to worry about putting it in backwards. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is I want to add some leaves. So let's go ahead and pick out the leaves we want to do. I'm looking at this to see which ones I want to use. Okay, I think those. I like this because it's got the gold around it. It makes it glisten. Looks real pretty. Just want to make sure we're not going to cover up the words or the bird too much. Oh, that looks good. Okay. So we've got some other areas that I think we can put something else in. Let's go ahead and get one of these little flowers. This is another way how you can make your appliques go a long ways, is by cutting them into pieces like this. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we put one over here. Oh, that looks cute. Kind of had an idea what I was going to do, but you know, until you glue it in place, you're not too sure. Okay, and let's see. I've got this resin flower that I want to put right there. So let's go ahead and put that on. Oh, isn't that pretty? Of course, I love birds. And bluebirds especially, because I love blue. Okay, let's see what else can we do. I feel like it needs something else. All right, let me see what it would look like if I put any more of these on here. I don't know, it kind of looks balanced. Let's go ahead and put the dangle on. It's a little bit tricky, but I'm glad the what's this called? A ring? I know it's called a certain ring. I can't think of the word right now. So what you have to do is you have to get it started and then turn it. And there you go. See how easy that was? Okay, so now I know that that's the front and that's the way it's going to lay. So I can go ahead and put this flower on. I like it facing that way so that it looks pretty. Okay, well guess what? The only thing left to do is put the hanger in. I've got this ribbon here that I think will look really cute. I used my monotone colors on the other one, but I want to try this. And I'm probably going to have to use that pen or scissors or something to get it in that hole, so I can reach through and get it. Well, that pen is a little bit too narrow. Let's see, what do I got over here? I've got all kinds of stuff. I used the scissors on the last one, but it was a different pair of scissors. Here's a small pair of scissors. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that's gonna work. Just got to get it in there enough for you to reach around and grab it. Okay. And then, since it's a loop, I'm just going to pull it through that loop. Okay. Well, let's pick up some so you can see what we got here. And there it is. Listen well, your heart is singing. Isn't that cute? I think I want to put a little bit of ink on these flowers. They look a little bit too new for me. And a little bit on this. Okay. Well, here we go. We've got 3 done. Aren't they cute? Well, tell me how you like it and tell me if you try it. I think they're very fun. And I got these little, what are they called? Key rings, key tags. I got those on Amazon. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I just looked up and so I'm not even, didn't have them all 3 in view for you to be able to see them. Okay, well, there's all 3 of them. Thanks so much for joining me today. See you next time. Bye-bye.